Seriously? What's this bit all about? It looks like I'm wearing a hairband. I don't even know what direction to... I need a haircut. Hello and welcome to part 21 of the Bolton battle. I'm Kev. I still don't know what's going on there. And today we're playing Boston. It's we've got the two big games really. We've got Boston, which is father against son, or father from 20 years ago against current son, and Blackpool, which is a big local derby. Since you were last with me, it's been going rather well again. If we have a look at our little fixture table here, lots of handsome green circles as well. There's the one blot, but that was the Bury game from the last episode in the FA Cup. And in actual fact, if we go back looking for a last league defeat, we have to go all the way back to September. So it's now January. We're probably due one. It came pretty close in the last game. Ilkeston pushed us about as far as we've been pushed for quite some time, but hopefully we're not going to slip up in today's episode, because like I say, two massive games for us. As far as the league table goes, with that kind of form, I guess you would expect the league table to look a little bit like this. Perhaps not exactly like this. We're 17 points clear at the top of the Conference National. Yes, we played one more game than the other teams who are around us. Exeter, one of my dad's other old clubs, pushing us one of our closest challengers, and Boston just outside the playoffs. But you'd like to think we can't mess it up from here, really. I don't know how easy it is to look back at last season's league table, but I don't think you need many more points than this to wrap up this division. And in actual fact, we've only got, 16, 17 games left, so we're positioned nicely for a decent run in. Looking at the assists, Jennings and Berry still joint top with some fella called Les, who plays for Chester. And Glenn Jennings is also the second top best player in the division in terms of average ratings. Luke has dropped out of the top goal scorer thing, mainly because he's not been playing every game. He's not an automatic first choice for us now. As you can see, his form's dropped off a little bit over the last 5 games. Both him and Mike Berry have dropped off a little bit. But Alan Harrington is finally starting to emerge as the player I hoped he would be all along, and is probably the in-form striker at the club now. He's on a 7.58 over his last few games, and if we look at his recent form for his last 5 games, he started the last 3 games and got 3 goals in 3 games in that time. So he's doing rather well all of a sudden. Chris Abbott is now fully back into the side, but Dave Mitchell's now picked up an injury as well. He's going to be out for a couple more weeks with a hamstring injury, and the squad is looking a little bit light in places. In fact, with Talbot unavailable because he was playing for the under-21s earlier today, we don't even have a substitute goalkeeper to put on the bench. So we're using every single player we've got at our disposal at the moment. So we might have to call up some of the under-21s, or maybe bring in a few players, January and all that. So today's team to play against Boston, we've got Eggs in goal still. There's a player we could probably replace. Dodge, Curtis and Albinson as the back three, Berry and Jennings at wing back, Martin and Finley in midfield with Glover in behind, Harrington and Luke. The strike partnership I envisioned at the start of the season, who are finally starting to look a bit more like a partnership recently, although, like I say, Luke's not really keeping up his side of the bargain. So we've already painted a picture of Alan Harrington as a bit of a bully, and if he's picking on anyone in this squad, it's going to be poor Mr. Dildick, isn't it? So I imagine Luke hates his guts. It's like Teddy Sheringham and was it Teddy Sheringham and Andy Cole who didn't like each other? Probably not, because one of them was a relentless bully, but who knows? Perhaps one of them was. One of them was called Teddy, after all. That's something worth getting bullied about, surely. If you're called Ted, in fact, if you're called Ted, that's fine. It's acceptable to be called Ted or Edward or Ed or any other variation of that. But why would you refer to yourself as Teddy? If you do prefer to be called Teddy, let me know in the comments. Just talk me through your thought process. I'm intrigued. There we go. The game started. That all got away from me a little bit there. I'm very distracted by what's going on with my hair. It's just if you look at it from side on, it's not all the way back. It's just this bit. It's like someone's just... And it won't go down. If it's been like that all... what time is it? It's 4 minutes to 9 at night as I'm recording to this. If that's been like that all day, Oh, that'll be why people have been laughing at me. I thought I was just having a particularly funny day. Apparently not. Right, we haven't scored yet, but I was hoping this was going to be the attack. But perhaps it was not to be. Although we've won the ball back. Luke is in behind, but stops and lets everyone catch up with him. Harrington's in though. What a cross from Jennings. Finds Harrington in space. That's 4 goals in 4 games for Alan Harrington now. I don't care if he's a monster. He's suddenly hit some goal scoring form, and if he carries on like this, we might have to take him off the transfer list, because he's certainly proving to be a very adequate option for us up front. I mean, he's got himself in a lovely position there, just getting in behind the right-sided centre-back and the right-back for Boston, finding himself a little pocket of space. The cross lands perfectly for him. It is sloppy defending from Boston, but we don't care because we're 1-0 up, and that puts us 19 points clear at the top of the league as it stands right now. Harrington finds Berry. Berry can cross in, doesn't find anyone at all. Finley's following in late. It falls to Martin. Someone needs to shoot. Luke's got it, forces a save, and we've got a corner. Finley to take. It comes. I mean, that's just a really harmless corner. But he gets a second bite at the cherry here. But again, doesn't cross to any Bolton players. We're the ones in the white shirts. For goodness sake. It does upset me when things like that happen. Right, we can build an attack down this left-hand side now. Martin to Harrington, out to Berry. Berry finds Glover, and Glover has scored. And that's his 9th goal of the season for someone who still isn't a regular week-in, week-out starter, and he's still only 21 years old. This boy is going to be around for a long time at this football club, I think. Of all the players we've currently got, he's the one who's got the potential to be with us into League 1, League 2, I think, because some of the other ones are good conference players, but I'm not sure how well they're going to make the step up. Talking of players making the step up, I think this might be possibly the first time all season we've tried to play a game without LBC being in the side. He's been that important to us, but just needed a bit of a rest. The Christmas period has been quite hectic. And plus, the 3 midfielders we've got on here are all excellent players, and we need to find a way to sort of rotate all of them and not just rotate the other 3 around LBC like we've kind of been doing. So he drops down to the bench. He's officially the substitute goalkeeper today. Probably won't bring him on in goal though. I don't know. It depends how Eggs plays. LBC might be the answer if Eggs has another one of his famous howlers. Oh, what's happened there? We've got away with that, I think, because the highlight just stopped, which means obviously the threat is immediately nullified, which is rather pleasant. Exeter have gone ahead in their game, so they've now pushed up to 2nd place in the league table. What's that? 17 points behind us still. So that's the same gap we had at the start of the day. It's going to be quite interesting if Exeter are the team pushing us closest. It would be nice actually for either Exeter or Boston to go up with us this season. They're 2 of only 3 teams my dad managed to score promotions with. So it'd be nice to have a promotion with one of them. If this nice little bit of holisticness. Yeah, that's it. Punch the microphone. Well played, sir. Right, Abbott's coming on for Luke, because Luke's just not at the races again. I hope he wasn't just a little spurt of awesome for sort of 2-3 months, and now he's going back to being a bit cack again. But that seems to be the direction he's heading in at the moment. I'm going to take Dodge off as well. He's not having the best of games. Plus, he's picked up a yellow card. Plus, I like to get Carl Roberts in at any and every opportunity. We've got Aidan Darby knocking around on the bench today as well, just because of desperation with the squad, with so many injuries appearing. So should we give him a run out? No, we'll take Lee Martin off. We've got to give LBC, got to give him the chance to play in every single game of a title-winning season. It's always a nice little achievement to have. There you go. I'm calling it now. We're winning this title. If we don't win it, Exeter must have dropped down to a draw again because the gap's gone back to 19 points. If we don't win the league this season, I may as well just give up Football Manager, because it could only be because we've spectacularly thrown it away. Even if we lost all the strikers or something at this point, surely we couldn't mess up enough to not win the league. There you go. There's a challenge to you, Football Manager gods. We may not have always seen eye to eye. I'm throwing the gauntlet down to you. Find a way to defeat me. What am I doing? Right, we need to play another game, and I need to edit that out so it doesn't come back and bite me. So just the one change for the Blackpool game then. LBC comes back into the side ahead of Pat Finlay. Other than that, we are as you were. Deon Talbot is now available today to go onto the bench though. So Aidan Darby misses out on a squad spot. Slight bit of transfer news. Colin Lamb is still on a non-contract contract. And Leamington, who were just outside the playoffs, have offered him a contract. So I'm not entirely sure I wasn't sure what to do. I did come to a decision, and I've offered him a part-time contract on slightly more than he was getting per game on a non-contract thing, just until the end of the season, because I'm fairly confident that if we get promoted, he's not going to be part of next season's squad. But at the same time, if anything happens to Mike Berry, he's a very good replacement wing-back at this level, and I don't know how easy it would be to find someone as good as him to come in, especially with nearly 3 years experience playing in this system under his belt the way Colin Lamb has. So hopefully he'll sign that and stay with us until the end of the season, and then we'll review from there. It might be we spectacularly combust and he'll stick around for another year because we'll be in this division. It might also be that we get promoted, can't find a better option and keep him around anyway, until we realise that this silly formation doesn't work in the Football League and we forget the idea of wing-backs altogether. Which is a very real possibility. Why are we not ahead in this game yet? I don't understand. Alan Harrington is now off the transfer list, by the way. He did come back to me and say, boss, actually, I'm happy with the amount of football I've been playing. I'm going to stop beating everybody up. I'm back. Your injury problems should subside now as well. So Harrington is going to be sticking around, but we have added 2 players to the transfer list this week. I want to say George Grayson, I think his first name is George, who was one of our first choice central defenders last year, hasn't had a look in at all this year with the new players we brought in. He's on the list, and Jordan Allen has gone on the list as well. Again, was certainly a regular player at the start of last season, having joined us, I think it was from Macclesfield. So he came in from the same team as Martin at the same time. Martin's obviously established himself as a star for us. Luke's made it 1-0. Whilst Alan, who I expected to be the better of the two, hasn't really. He's been hurt by the arrivals of Finlay and LBC after him and the constant improvement of Andre Glover. And there's just, I'd like to keep him around, but he doesn't want to stay as a bit part player, and I just don't see a way to get him onto the bench even. So he'll be on his way as well, which leaves us a little bit light in midfield. I'm in 2 minds whether to go out and bring anyone in at this stage or just... we're like 6 weeks away from youth players coming in, so we could just make do with them. I guess we might have the league wrapped up by then as well. We can always dip into the loan market if we get any injuries, but for now I'm of a mind to just stick with what we've got and see what happens, because I don't want to rock the boat at all. Right, Jennings finds Martin into Glover, Glover to Luke, and Luke really should have scored there, and he knows it. Right, Harrington, there you go, off the transfer list straight away. First poor game in a long time, so Abbott's going to come on for him just to keep him sharp. And Albinson as well, also not having the best of games, so Carl Roberts can come on for him. It's nice having a good centre-back option on the bench. It's not something we've always had the luxury of, but it's, especially when you're playing with 3 centre-backs, it's nice to be able to just drag one of them off every game and say, yep, you're not playing well enough, off you come. And reviewing the tapes of non-league to legend, particularly, not taking off players in defence when they're playing badly. Bit guilty of that quite regularly. Right, Finlay comes on for Glover for the last 10 minutes, and hopefully we can hold on and go. Were we 19 points clear to begin with? I guess we must have been. I'm not really sure. 20. Oh goodness me, 20 points clear. If things stay as they are, that is just nuts. We've got the throw in as well. Luke crosses to absolutely no one, but that should be that. And we've beaten Blackpool, we've beaten Boston. I think we're 20 points clear at the top of the league. Yes, Woking have got a game in hand, but who cares? We're 20 points clear with 15 games to go. At some point, we need to start planning the open top bus and all that nonsense. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.